Hey guys, Andrew Thruston here with PJ Hussey. I'm here with Ashley Everts from our real estate division. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, what it looks like to evaluate an investment property and how PJ Hussey can come alongside you in that process. So we're standing here today at a 12-unit property that we're in the process of renovating, and I want to just kind of walk you through what we do for an investor as this process gets started, because we want you to reach out to us in the very beginning so that we can align, the reality of what the renovation costs are going to be, what the rent, that we're going to be able to get, and basically package that all together so that you can move forward with a very clear vision and plan, of what the final product is going to be. So one of the very first things that I do when I come into this type of role is I reach out to Ashley and I say, hey Ashley, can you go check out this property? In this particular case, this complex is near 7th Street in Camelback, and I would have you jump in your car, get down here, and kind of maybe walk us through what that process looks like when we're evaluating an investment property for a potential client or a current client.
Absolutely. So we as a group would come down here and check out the property, and like Andrew said, this one is on 7th Street in Camelback, so it's a prime location. We go back to the table and evaluate numbers such as rental rates, what they are now, which in this particular case was in the 300s, and we're able to bring them up to $995 plus certain utility rubs and things of that nature. We comp the entire area, check out all of theirs too, call them.
It's important as we get into these types of projects, it's really important for us to kind of get boots on the ground, so to speak. So that's one of the things that Ashley and myself and our team, basically will go in and do for you is we're going to physically come down to the property and look at some of the challenges that we may face. So on this particular property, and you can't see it from where we're standing, but on this particular property, there was a lot of transient activity that we saw happening on this particular investment. And so we were able to address that in the renovation budget by fencing the exterior of the property. And that was one of the things that, an investor wouldn't have known if we would have just simply, shot them some numbers based on square footage in the very beginning. So that's a really important aspect. What are some of the other challenges that we might face, when you come out and see a property for the first time?
There's all sorts of challenges from time to time, but just to elaborate on the fence thing, an investor may not know, hey, let's put a fence here. It's all from a leasing perspective. We're out there all day, every day, our feet are on the ground, sort of like you're saying, and we know what renters are looking for. We know what's attractive to them, what's gonna make or break a deal. And so those are the ideas that we bring to the table, and then that's factored into everything that you do with them, renovation budget-wise, and we get those rents up.
Absolutely. So when we come into a property, what are some of those key things that a tenant is looking for? Maybe give some nuggets to the investors that are watching this right now. Like what are you finding as the highest return on investment, when we go into these projects currently? Some things like maybe laundry or, exterior courtyard, pet areas, covered parking. What are some of those key pieces that you're seeing, are bringing, dollars to the table on those leases?
All of what you mentioned and more. Flooring is a big key factor. Great appliance packages, nice cabinetry. They look for things like that, especially in the higher market rents. And like you're saying, curb appeal. Curb appeal is very, very important.
The three most attractive things when you're looking at any home to sell or to rent is the first thing you see obviously is the curb appeal. That's actually the third most important aspect of your investment. The first is the kitchen. So you're gonna have a wonderful kitchen like this. Second is bathrooms. Third is curb appeal as far as your return on investment is concerned. So it's really important that you focus on those particular areas. But as we're going through these renovations, it's important to understand what that market value is going to be, because if we have a project like this and maybe we can only get $100 more a month, we can kind of reevaluate the level of renovation that we're going to do. So it's important to understand what those lease rates are going to be in the very beginning so that we can project what that renovation is going to look like. So talk to me a little bit about what are the things that you're looking for from a search criteria when you're evaluating what a rent rate would be.
When evaluating, I would look in about a mile and a half radius. Square footage is comparable to, as well as the year built. We compare it to other renovations alike. Like we're talking about kitchen features, bathroom features, whether they've been upgraded or not, whether it has washer and dryer capability, other things like community pools or exterior storages, things like that, those all come into play. But we use a number of things to compare to one another.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's important. So as we dive into this and we can, present to an investor, hey, we're going to be able to get $200 a month more. Or there's been some circumstances where, we'll have an investor reach out to us to do an evaluation on a purchase, and we can only get, maybe $50 or $75 more for that rent. And we realize that particular project might need $25,000 or $30,000 in renovation. And so we're actually going to make the suggestion to that particular investor, either one, not to buy it, or two, to at least understand what they're getting themselves into. So if they feel like it's a drastically appreciating neighborhood, they may be willing to take a little bit of the bumps and bruises initially as the value kind of catches up to what it is that they're purchasing. But that's what we try to do when we're working with investors, is just simply educate them and come alongside them as their consultants, as your consultant, in these particular deals. Anything else you'd like to add?
Come see us. We'd love to make that investment work for you.
Absolutely. I'm Andrew Thruston with PJ Hussey. Look forward to talking to you soon.